Incredible twist, 7-year-old girl sprayed by HOA. Karen finds unexpected courage when help arrives. Mia was a bolt of sunshine on that sweltering summer day. The sun beat down on the quiet suburban neighborhood, but she was just a 7-year-old girl in her own little world, doodling away at the vibrant colors of her imagination. With each stroke of colored chalk on the warm concrete of her driveway, she was creating a magical universe filled with dancing butterflies and rainbow-colored unicorns. Her laughter rang out, echoing off the perfectly manicured lawns and pristine homes, as she transformed her mundane suburban environment into a vibrant canvas of creativity. But the harmony of warm summer afternoons shattered when an overzealous homeowners association board member, known locally as Karen, took notice. Karen, with her stern brown eyes and a clipboard perpetually under her arm, wandered through the neighborhood like a storm cloud. She had perfected the art of turning smiles into frowns with a single glance. When she spied Mia's colorful masterpieces, her frown deepened, and an ugly sense of power surged inside her. With one swoop of her arm, she unleashed a torrent of icy water from her garden hose, drenching Mia and leaving her blue and pink chalk creations to wash away. Mia's heart raced, a tightness gripping her chest as the water sprayed her, shock dancing in her eyes. The laughter that once floated through the air vanished, replaced by whispers of disbelief from neighbors. Humiliated and shivering, Mia stood there, drenched and heartbroken, feeling every ounce of her creative spirit seep away with the chalk. Her parents, working day and night to make ends meet, were torn. "We can't afford to get on Karen's bad side," her dad grumbled, anxiety written across his furrowed brow. Her mom stood nearby, fists clenched, caught between wanting to protect her little girl and the fear of HOA retaliation. It felt like a battle of values, creativity clashing against the oppression of conformity. Before they could decide, an unexpected ally stepped forward. Mr. Thompson, retired, with a twinkle in his eye that belied his tough exterior. He had watched too many tales of innocence lost and stood solemnly by Mia's side, recognizing the spark in her that shouldn't be extinguished. "This isn't right," he said, with a voice like gravel but softer than cotton. "We need to do something." Mia felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. Together, they rallied the community, sharing her story over backyard fences and during grocery runs. As they grew closer, Mia realized that courage could feel as small as a heartbeat, but still echo like the loudest clap of thunder. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Driven by their collaboration, the idea for a community art fair blossomed, an event that would showcase the hidden talents within the neighborhood while standing up against Karen's iron-fisted rules. With every drawing, Mia felt the mounting support from neighbors, her heart swelling with newfound determination. Yet, as the big day approached, tension crackled in the air. Karen felt threatened, her rigid authority crumbling under the weight of colorful paint and vibrant expressions. And as doubts flooded Mia's heart, she caught sight of Karen lurking, a menacing reminder that conformity was lurking around the corner. Would Mia's courage rise to the occasion, casting aside fear in the pursuit of her dream? The answer lingered heavy on the horizon, a storm of emotions tumbling together on the brink of hope and despair. As the fair neared, the question danced in the air: could one little girl change the hearts of many, mending fences and bringing the community together? Mia couldn't sleep. The night before the art fair felt electric, like 1,000 butterflies flapping around in her stomach. She tossed and turned, the images of her chalk drawings swirling in her mind. Would it really work? Would everyone show up? Morning arrived, bright and sunny, just like her spirit. With each step down the stairs, she could feel the warmth of support surrounding her, almost pulsing like a heartbeat. Her parents were already up, sipping their coffee, but today, their faces were different. There was a spark of hope there that hadn't been there yesterday. "Good morning, sweetheart." Her mom cheered, a smile breaking through her usual worries. "Are you ready? We're setting up soon." Mia nodded, a shy smile creeping onto her lips. At the park, people were already gathering. Laughter and chatter filled the air, breaking down the tension that shadowed the neighborhood for so long. Colorful banners swayed gently in the breeze. Tables were set up with art supplies, and the smell of fresh pastries wafted in from a nearby vendor. "Mia! Over here!" Mr. Thompson called, waving her over like a proud buddy. She dashed over, her heart racing. "What do you need me to do?" "Just look at all these people. They came for you and your art." He nodded towards a growing crowd, their faces animated and alive. "And you know what? Everybody else brought their own art too." Mia glanced around, her eyes widening as she spotted paintings, sculptures, and even some chalk drawings. Each piece was like a love letter to creative freedom. Her heart swelled, and for a moment, she felt like she was floating. Then she saw it. Karen stood off to the side, arms crossed, glaring at the joyful scene. The weight of fear began to tug at Mia's courage. Would Karen try to destroy this too? "Just remember how brave you were to stand up for your dreams," Mr. Thompson said gently, noticing her gaze. "This is your moment, Mia. You're not alone." With those simple words, Mia straightened her back. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, each stride steady and determined. As she approached a blank wall set up for community art, she felt the thrumming energy of hope coursing through her. "Okay, everyone," she called, her voice rising above the anxiety that held her. "Let us paint together. Show what makes you happy." Cheers erupted from the crowd as people rushed to grab supplies. Different colors splashed onto the wall, filling the space with a beautiful messy tapestry of creativity. Mia felt herself sparkle with each stroke of paint, each mark becoming a stroke of resistance. But just as laughter bubbled over the edges of the canvas, Karen stepped closer, her eyes darkening. "This is against HOA rules." "You can't." Just the crowd turned towards Karen, the hum of excitement silencing her voice. "We can and we will," shouted a neighbor. "This is our art. Our community." Mia's heart thudded. The voices of her neighbors stood as a shield between her and Karen, and she swallowed her fears. Her bravery was infectious. As the group united, colors blended, laughter echoed, and creativity flourished like blossoms in spring. But Mia knew Karen wouldn't back down easily. The tightness in her throat returned. Would this day really end as a victory, or would it plunge into an abyss of worry once more? With her community behind her, Mia felt powerful, but the threat still loomed. The moment of truth was approaching. Would they stand together to fight for their dreams, even against the relentless storm that was Karen? As the first brush strokes dried, the question hung in the air like a challenge: what would happen when the sun began to set? The sun hung high in the sky, casting golden rays over the park as laughter filled the air like a sweet melody. Mia stood at the forefront of the creative chaos, her heart beating steadily with the rhythm of her community. With every stroke she painted, splashes of blue and yellow danced across the wall, weaving stories of joy and resilience. Karen didn't disappear. From her rigid stance, she scanned the joyful scene, eyes narrow and calculating. Mia could feel a tension ripple through the crowd, like an unseen storm cloud threatening to burst. "Why won't she just let us be?" Mia thought, her confidence momentarily waning. Just then, Charlotte, Mia's best friend, joined her side, paintbrush in hand. "Look," she said, painting a bright red sun at the corner of the wall. "It's going to be beautiful." Mia nodded, drawing strength from that infectious energy. "Yeah. Let us fill this whole wall." They began painting side by side, each stroke melding into something bigger, more vibrant than either of them had imagined. As the colors flew and laughter rang out, other neighbors joined in, their faces brightening the moment. Mr. Thompson painted a giant tree, its trunk deep brown, branches stretching wide, symbolizing unity. Nearby, Mrs. Jensen, the elderly woman from 2 doors down, brought a bucket of paint and began creating her whimsical flowers, each petal filled with memories and laughter. But Karen was still there, glaring, arms crossed tighter. She opened her mouth again, ready to interject, but just then, a group of kids ran up, their figures brimming with excitement. "Can we paint too?" they shouted, nearly bouncing off the ground. "Of course," Mia replied, her smile radiant as she knelt down to meet their hopeful eyes. She handed them brushes, and they set to work, adding their wild colors and chaotic drawings to the masterpiece forming before them. "See? It's beautiful!" exclaimed one little girl, her hands smeared with green and orange, as she pointed to a patch of bright, swirling colors. The collective spirit of creativity washed over everyone. It was as if they were painting a shield against negativity. Karen's face twisted in frustration. "This is going to get you all in trouble," she shouted, her voice a harsh edge against the melody of joy surrounding them. Mia felt a chill prick at her spine. But then she looked around at her neighbors, at her friends. They were deep in creation, united in purpose. "No. We won't let you scare us," Mia called out, her voice ringing with newfound courage. "What do you plan to do? Call the police?" A neighbor replied, stepping forward, fists clenched but heart open. "I'll report you all." Karen shot back, her confidence dim just enough for Mia to see the cracks in her mask of authority. Suddenly, a wave of murmured affirmations rose up from the crowd. "We stand together," echoed a chorus of voices, bolstered by the community spirit surrounding them. Breath caught in Mia's throat. They really were united, woven together by a tapestry of dreams and aspirations. She felt a surge of warmth, hope swelling in her chest like a blooming flower. With her heart pounding, Mia turned back to the wall. "Let us add one more thing," she shouted, gathering everyone's attention. "A giant heart, to show we love this community." More voices chorused in agreement, and as they painted the heart a bright, bold red it pulsed with life. But as the colors mingled, a low rumble echoed from behind. Mia turned towards Karen. The storm wasn't just within her, it was gathering, ready to strike. Would the heart withstand the tempest brewing in the face of adversity? The sun was beginning to sink, casting shadows over the park as the vibrant wall shone in defiance. Yet, just behind them, Karen took a step forward, her expression darkening with an undeniable threat. What would happen when the day's colors faded into darkness? Mia's heart raced as Karen advanced, her face tight with fury. The vibrant wall behind them seemed to reflect the swirling emotions joy contrasted with fear. Would that defiant heart painted in bold red withstand the storm? "Who gave you the right to ruin this place?" Karen's voice cut through the evening air, biting and raw. "You think this is art? It's vandalism." Every brushstroke felt like an arrow aimed at her heart. But Mia couldn't back down. She glanced at the neighbors' friends and families gathered around her. Their eyes sparkled with determination, as if they were ready to take on anything, together. She took a deep breath, grounding herself in that unity. "We're not ruining anything," Mia exclaimed, her voice steadying. "We're building something new. Something beautiful. This is a place for us all." "Beautiful?" Karen threw her head back in laughter, a harsh sound that made shivers crawl up Mia's spine. "This isn't your playground. If you want to paint, go do it on your own property." "Maybe we should," a neighbor piped up, stepping forward. "If that's how you feel, Karen, then you can't stop us from loving where we live." "But you don't own this land," Karen shot back, eyes narrowing. The sun dipped lower, casting a fiery light on her silhouette as if framing her with an ominous glow. Mia felt the anger course through her, a surge she had never felt before. "It's about more than ownership," she shouted. "It's about community. It's about love." In that moment, something shifted. One of the kids, the little girl with the green and orange paint on her hands, stepped forward, her tiny voice breaking through the tension. "I think it's pretty. We made it together." She looked up at Mia, and Mia felt her heart swell with hope. Karen's glare softened just for a second, an expression of disbelief flickering across her face. But it was gone just as quickly as it appeared. "You'll see, all of you," she said, turning away, her voice cold. "You'll regret this." Silence settled in as Karen marched off, her back straight and unyielding. It was as if the park itself sighed, the weight of the confrontation lifting, if only momentarily. Mia turned to the crowd, her heart still thumping. The wall was alive with color, but the tension hadn't completely dissolved. "Is everyone okay?" Charlotte asked, stepping close to Mia. There was worry in her eyes, but Mia could also see an ember of pride. They had come together, and they hadn't backed down. "We're better than okay," Mia said, her voice steady with conviction. "This is just the beginning." A wave of cheer broke through. Neighbors clapped each other's backs, and the children resumed painting, their laughter returning to fill the air. The heart on the wall glowed brightly, a symbol of their spirit, even as shadows clung to the edges of the park. But as the sun dipped lower, Mia glanced around. Would this victory hold? Would Karen strike back? Moments later, just as the last rays painted everything gold, a figure appeared on the horizon, someone familiar, someone important. "Mia!" called out her mom, waving frantically. "We need to talk." Mia felt a knot tighten in her stomach. What could make her mother rush over like that? Was it about the confrontation? Questions spiraled in her mind. Would the love and unity they built hold firm against unexpected storms? As her mother approached, worry etched on her face, Mia was left wondering if the heart they painted was enough to shield them from the chaos looming on the horizon. "Mia!" Her mom hurried, reaching her side just as the last glow of sunlight faded. The panic on her mother's face was unmistakable, creating a tight knot in Mia's stomach. "Listen to me, please." Mia stood there, palms still stained with paint from the wall, heart racing as the excitement of their earlier victory collided with her mother's urgency. "What's wrong?" she asked, anxiety creeping into her voice. "There's a meeting," her mom said, glancing over her shoulder as if expecting someone to jump out of the shadows. "The homeowners association is talking. Karen is stirring things up." Mia felt her excitement dim slightly. "But we did this for the community, Mom," she protested. "They can't take it away from us, not after tonight." "Their paperwork is already on the desk ready to be filed," her mom replied. "Karen wants to make this an issue, and if she gets them on her side." The worry in her mother's eyes struck Mia deeply. Suddenly, she felt a wave of protective energy flowing within her. "We can't just let her win," she exclaimed, determination igniting in her belly. "We have to go to the meeting. We have to fight." Her mother hesitated, weighing the risks against their scant window of time. Mia could see the struggle in her eyes, the desire to protect her child battling the fear of confrontation. "Mia, I just don't want you to get hurt. I want to be. We have friends. We have each other." Mia's voice was rising, fueled by the sense of solidarity illuminated during their artistic expression. "Karen may be angry, but we have the heart of this community." With a thoughtful sigh, her mother nodded, steeling herself. "Okay, let us gather everyone. But we have to be ready. Karen will have her supporters too." The park felt different, shadows blinking alive under the softening twilight as neighbors began to pack up their supplies. Mia ran to the nearest group, her heart pulsating with purpose. "Everyone. We need to gather for a meeting. Karen is trying to stop us. Charlotte, who had just painted a sun, looked up with concern. What do you mean? Is she threatening us? Yes. But we can't let her. We've created something beautiful, and we can protect it together. The urgency caught fire among the group. People dropped everything they were doing, their previous fatigue replaced by a shared sense of mission. They started to rally, murmurs of support filling the air as they moved closer to Mia and her mom. As they assembled outside the park office, the gathering buzzed with nervous energy, children's laughter mixed with adult conversations. Mia's heart raced with renewed strength. Mia, what if this goes wrong? What if the HOA decides to tear down our masterpiece? Charlotte asked, her brows furrowed. What if it doesn't? Mia replied, trying to keep her voice level. We're standing together. We're not backing down. We're a community. If we believe in what we've created, nothing can take away the heart we've painted. As dusk settled, Mia felt the weight of those words. Tomorrow could bring headwinds like they had never experienced. But there was something exciting in fighting for each other, in standing strong against adversity. Fear melted into the backdrop of unity. As they prepared to step into the council room, Mia glanced at her friends and neighbors, and for the first time, she felt the solidness of a bond that would not break. Are we ready? Her mother asked, voice steady but laced with tension. Mia took a deep breath, feeling that pulse of courage inside her. We are. Yet, deep down, she couldn't shake the question that lurked at the edge of her mind: was love and creativity enough when faced with authority? As they stepped forward, Mia knew that the coming moments would determine the fate of their heart painted against the wall, and the real confrontation was just beginning. Would they survive this storm, or would their community's love fade into the shadows? Mia felt her heart pound as she stepped into the dimly lit council room. The murmur of voices fell silent when they entered, all eyes suddenly on the small group of neighbors behind her. A sense of dread wrapped around her like a thick blanket. She could almost hear her own heartbeat echoing as they took their seats. Her mom's hand gripped hers tightly, a reminder of their unity. Mia glanced back at her friends, each of them wearing expressions that blended fear and resolve. She knew they were all thinking the same thing. This was it. Their collective strength rested on the shoulders of this moment. The head of the Homeowners Association, Mr. Brandt, sat at the front, eyebrows raised as he adjusted his glasses. I see we have some visitors this evening, he said, his tone clipped. What brings you here? It's about the mural, Mia said, standing up a little straighter, her voice stronger than she felt. We painted it for the community. It's bright and colorful, and it represents who we are. Karen wants to take that away. Karen, sat at the back with folded arms, shot daggers at Mia with her icy glare. The crowd behind her murmured, a mixture of confusion and admiration clearly visible on their faces. Mr. Brandt cleared his throat. We have a process for these things, he said, his eyes narrowing. And I must remind you, art is subjective. Not everyone shares your enthusiasm. In fact, Karen piped up, her tone dripping with disdain, it's an eyesore. A blight on our lovely neighborhood. What will visitors think of us? We need to uphold property values. Mia felt a hot flush rise in her cheeks. It was as if a wall of negativity surrounded them. But she wouldn't let that stop her. She glanced at her friends and drew strength from their hopeful faces. Property values? Mia echoed, her voice stronger, more confident. What about community values? What about friendship and creativity? We put our hearts into this. It brought us all together. That matters more than some number on a piece of paper. Gasps rippled through the crowd, and she could see a few neighbors nodding along. Encouraged, Mia took a step closer, feeling the intensity in the room shift. Mia's right. Charlotte's voice rang out, and she stood, trembling but resolute. This mural isn't just paint on a wall. It's a reflection of who we are as a neighborhood. If we let Karen dictate our creativity, what's next? We're going to lose what makes us special. The tide was turning. Mia could feel it. People began murmuring in agreement, voices rising in support. The community's spirit was reigniting, and Mia's heart soared. A wave of hope washed over her, and she knew they had to keep pushing. "Let us take a vote," Mr. Brandt suggested, trying to impose order. But Mia could see the crack forming in his authority, and it emboldened her. "Wait." She took a deep breath, standing even taller. "Before you vote, let us show you what it means to us." She gestured to her mother, who nodded, understanding immediately. One by one, her friends shared their personal stories tied to the mural, the laughter, the years of friendship, the tears that turned into joy. Each testimony painted a vivid picture that contradicted Karen's cold view. The council room echoed with recounts of connections formed in that park, of families laughing together. As the final story wrapped up, a hush fell over the room, heavy with emotion. Mia felt hope bloom in her chest, but what if it wasn't enough? "It's not just about us," she said, her voice like a soft but firm plea. "It's about all of you, too. You're part of this community. We all need to stand together against fear." The moment hung in the air, charged with possibility. But how would they respond? Would they choose the vibrancy of community or the grayness of conformity? And just when Mia thought they might finally be on the right track, a sharp voice cut through. "This isn't over," Karen proclaimed, her eyes ablaze with determination. Mia's heart sank. It wasn't just a battle against the council anymore, it felt like a fight for the soul of their community. Would they rise up together, or would they be overshadowed by a force intent on silencing their creativity? The answers loomed ahead, and the next moments could change everything. Mia's heart raced as the weight of Karen's words filled the room, thick and heavy. Dread seeped into her bones, a chill that tried to snuff out the flicker of hope. But as she looked at her friends, each one a reflection of her own fire, she felt strength growing inside her, pushing back against the darkness. Mr. Brandt shifted uneasily in his chair, the whispers of the crowd raising in a swell. "Order! Order!" he tried to restore. Yet, the voices weren't silenced. Instead, they began to rise, a chorus of support for Mia and her vision. "I can't believe this is happening," whispered Charlotte beside her. "They really care." Mia took a steadying breath, the air thick with possibilities, but still a shadow of doubt crept in. Would they listen? Could they really unite? She scanned the faces around her, seeing not only their expressions of conflict but also teetering hope. "Wait a sec," came a deep voice from the back. It was Mr. Lewis, one of the older residents. He adjusted his glasses and cleared his throat, drawing the attention of the room towards him. "I remember when that mural was painted. My granddaughter helped out too. She was proud to be a part of something beautiful." His words sent waves through the crowd like ripples in a pond. "Yes!" shouted a neighbor's voice, matching Mia's rising conviction. "That mural isn't just paint, it's memories." Mia's heart swelled, it was as if they had been locked in a cage, and the door had suddenly swung wide open. The murmurs turned to nods, and new voices chimed in. "We need to support our kids' creativity. Art brings us together." Mia's breath hitched, the gravity of the moment swirling around her. But just as she felt a solid wave of unity in the air, Karen's voice cut through the sentiment like a bell tolling, sharp and piercing. "Are you really prepared to live in a neighborhood defined by graffiti?" A collective gasp echoed. It was as if she had pulled a curtain, blocking out the light and leaving doubt and fear in its place. Mia's pulse quickened. What would she say? But Charlotte stood, her face set in determination. "It's not graffiti. It's art. It's a celebration of our community. Yes, we painted it together." Mia added, her voice bolstered by the knowledge that they had real power in their words. It's our expression. Community isn't about conformity, it's about celebrating what makes us different. The tension in the room vibrated, a taut string ready to snap. But then Mr. Brandt raised his voice again. I think we should take a break. Let us reconvene in 10 minutes. I need to consider. No. Mia cried, unexpected urgency spilling from her. We don't want a break. We want a voice. The room shifted, eyes flickered back and forth. What would it take to truly stand as one? Suddenly, an older woman, Mrs. Peterson, known for her garden full of wildflowers, rose slowly from her seat. When I moved here, I chose this neighborhood because of its spirit. What Mia and her friends have done only highlights that. We should nurture this creativity instead of stifling it. Cheers erupted. The tide was turning, but Mia knew they weren't out of the woods yet. The clock was ticking, and Karen's resolve would not be easily shaken. Mr. Brandt, we deserve to be heard. Mia insisted, her voice edging on the precipice of desperation. We want to fight for our mural, for our community. The clock on the wall ticked louder as Mr. Brandt seemed to hesitate. Beneath the veneer of professionalism, Mia caught the hint of uncertainty laced in his expression. What if this was a turning point? Would they vote in favor of the mural, or succumb to Karen's oppressive vision? The room held its breath, waiting for the next words to break the silence. Would fear win? Or could they summon the courage to redefine their community's identity? And as the door to the council room swung open, a sudden figure rushed inside, a familiar face bearing news that could change everything. The figure that rushed in was little Lily, Mia's 7-year-old neighbor, her cheeks flushed from hustling through the hall. She held a piece of paper clutched tightly in her hand, and as she skidded to a stop beside Mia, the room fell into a hush, curiosity mingling with concern. Mia! Lily gasped, her small voice slicing through the tension like a hot knife through butter. I have something to say. Mia knelt down to eye level with her, her heart swelling at the sight of the young girl's earnest expression. What is it, Lily? You can tell us. Lily took a deep breath, as if gathering all her courage. I want to tell everyone about my mural. It's not just paint. It's magic. A wave of emotion swept through the crowd, their eyes flickering between Lily's innocent determination and the grim expressions of those still siding with Karen. It is magic. Lily continued, waving her arms animatedly. When I painted my butterfly, it made me feel like I could fly. My friends helped me, and we all felt happy together. Murmurs of agreement sparked up again in the room, but Karen was ready. She scoffed, rolling her eyes. Children don't understand. They just see colors. You think that makes it art? Grow up, Lily. Mia felt a pang of anger but quickly tempered it. Lily's spirit was the essence of everything they were fighting for. Don't listen to her, Lily, Mia urged gently. Your art matters. You matter. Lily nodded, her little body trembling slightly but her voice firm. Art tells stories. My butterfly tells the story of my dreams. And my friends, they told their stories too. As she spoke, Mia could see her friends behind her, nodding in solidarity, remembering their own creations, their own voices mixing with Lily's. Mr. Brandt finally stirred from his daze, glancing between Lily and the crowd, the tension beginning to fracture. What you've created is a community, a place for dreams. We can't just dismiss that. Another voice from the back piped up. It was Mr. Lewis again. Lily's right. It's about more than just colors on a wall. It's about connection. The room buzzed alive, more voices rising in support, fanning the flames of unity. Art represents who we are. One man shouted, and the crowd erupted into applause. Mia felt a rush of hope. Could they really win this fight? Could Lily's courage ripple out and compel change in the hearts of those who opposed them? But just when it seemed that momentum was fully swaying toward them, Karen stood yet again, her expression fierce. This isn't over. A few cheers from a child won't sway my decision. Mia's stomach twisted. She could feel uncertainty creeping back in, the reality that there was still a fight ahead. But as she looked at Lily, she also saw determination, and strength in the small girl's eyes that ignited a fire within her. "Mr. Brandt," Mia said, her voice steady despite the chaos. "We deserve to celebrate our community. We're not just kids playing with paint, we're a family. And families stand together." As the clock ticking behind Mr. Brandt echoed louder, the stakes felt higher. Would they take a step toward embracing their vibrant identities, or succumb to fear disguised as authority? In that charged moment, the atmosphere was so thick with possibility that everyone was left holding their breath, waiting for the final decision. And then, just as Mr. Brandt began to speak, the door swung open again, this time permitting a sharp-faced figure who walked in, confidently shaking their head, a city council member known for their discontent with the HOA. What new revelation would unfold now, threatening everything they had just fought for? The room felt electric. Whispers stirred through the crowd as they turned to see the newcomer, the sharp-faced council member, stride toward the center. Mia's heart raced, and she felt a chill settle in. Was this a sudden verdict against them, or worse, against Lily's enchanting mural? "Council Member Harris," Mr. Brandt greeted, his voice steady but laced with uncertainty. "What brings you here today?" Council Member Harris scanned the room, his eyes landing on Lily first. The little girl stood bravely beside Mia, clutching her paper like a shield. Then the councilman turned his attention to the mural, his brow furrowed in thought. "I heard rumblings about some sort of art installation in this community," he began, his tone inspecting. "But I didn't expect to see," he hesitated, the incredulity filling the air over the colorful display that decorated the hall. "Children's art," he said finally, nearly dismissive, but the crowd murmured back, holding their breath, and Mia felt a flicker of hope ignite anew. "What you see here," Mia interjected boldly, surprising even herself, "isn't just children's art. It's a celebration. It's who we are, a vibrant family. And we deserve to express ourselves." Harris's skepticism was clear. "Art is subjective," he stated, as if to counter Mia's words. "But does it really connect with this community's values?" Before Mia could respond, Lily stepped forward, her small voice piercing through the tension. "It connects us. My butterfly is our dreams, and we all helped. It made us happy, the colors feel like hugs." Gasps echoed around the room. Adults exchanged glances, caught off guard by the sheer sincerity of the girl's words. Even Karen looked momentarily taken aback, her face flushing with irritation. "Are we really going to let children dictate what's valuable?" Harris asked, the challenge ringing in his voice. Mia's heart thudded. She felt the weight of their hopes in the air, tangible, like a live wire. What if it's not just about the art? Mia pressed, her voice steady now, fueled by the spark of the crowd's energy. "It's about the unity we find behind it. These kids are showing us how to believe in something bigger than ourselves." The crowd erupted in murmurs of agreement, voices rising in strength. Mr. Lewis was back at it, supporting her. "When we give room for dreams, the whole community benefits." Council Member Harris crossed his arms, eyebrows knitting together, clearly torn. But Mia saw his stance softening, just a fraction. "Maybe," he started. "Maybe we need to reconsider. I want this community to work together, not against each other." The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. Would he decide in their favor? As the seconds ticked by, hope mingled with anxiety. Suddenly, Karen broke in, her voice sharp and resolute, "This is just childish sentiment. The rules are in place for a reason." The tension snapped like a string pulled too tight, voices raising in protest against Karen's words. The once muted crowd now surged with passion and urgency, like a wave crashing upon the shore. "Wait. Harris shouted over the chaos, raising his hand. The room quieted again, all eyes on him. Would he embrace the spirit of Mia, Lily, and the entire community, or would he side with Karen's cold logic? "I'm not ready to make a decision just yet," he said, a frown contorting his expression. "There will be a community meeting next week. We need everyone including you, Karen, to voice your perspectives." A low groan of discontent rippled through the room at the prolonged uncertainty. "It's not over," he continued, "but the conversation has sparked something important today." Mia's pulse raced. What a relief to hear him acknowledge their fight. But now, the battle wasn't over. The atmosphere crackled with unresolved energy. Would the community rally, or would Karen find a way to undermine their efforts? As they all filed out, Lily reached for Mia's hand, her small fingers wrapping tightly around hers. "It's okay, right?" the girl asked, looking up with wide, hopeful eyes. "It's more than okay," Mia replied, a swell of determination filling her heart. "This is just the beginning." With uncertainty lying in wait and courage rising, Mia knew they had a long road ahead. Could they rally together again before the meeting? What new challenges might arise? As the crowd dispersed, Mia felt the night air cool against her skin, invigorating and full of promise. It would take every ounce of their shared strength to stand against the shadows. But deep inside, she knew they were ready for whatever came next. Mia stood outside the council room, her heart pounding in her chest, a surge of adrenaline pushing her forward. She could feel the apprehension linger on the air like humidity before a storm. The meeting with the Homeowners Association had revealed not just their desire to stifle creativity but also the cracks in their authority. As she glanced down at Lily, still by her side, Mia couldn't help but think of the weight they all carried. The hopes of her friends and neighbors rested in her hands. "We have to keep fighting," she said, squeezing Lily's hand. "We can't let them take away our mural." With determination shining in her eyes, Mia raced towards the park, gathering her friends and neighbors for an impromptu meeting. Mr. Thompson was the first to arrive, his face a steady line of encouragement. "What's our next move, Mia?" he asked, a sparkle of pride lighting his features. "Mia had this idea," Lily piped up, her voice bright like her painted butterfly. "We should have a community art day. Everyone can paint something that represents love and unity." Mia beamed at Lily's suggestion, the weight of fear lifting for a moment. "Yes. We need to show them that our colorful spirit isn't just a moment but a movement. We can fill our neighborhood with love, celebrate our community." As neighbors began to gather, sharing stories and ideas, Mia felt a buzz of excitement swirl around them. People of all ages joined in, and soon the park transformed into a vibrant palette of enthusiastic energy and anticipation. Tables filled with canvases, paints, and brushes appeared as neighbors shared snacks and laughter. They each took a turn discussing what they'd create, and even Karen's naysaying began to soften, caught off guard by this spontaneous show of unity. As the sun dipped low in the sky, the park glowed with all the colors of a sunset. Mia and her friends painted together, laughter ringing out like chimes, transforming the space into a celebration of community. Each stroke became a declaration of the resilience that united them. But Karen wasn't far behind. She stood at the edge of the park, watching with an expression of disbelief. She finally approached, arms folded tight against her chest. The laughter faded just slightly. "You think this is going to change anything? The meeting is still next week. We have rules for a reason." A murmur rippled through the crowd, but Mia stepped forward, her voice steady despite the weight of Karen's authority. "It's not about breaking rules, Karen. It's about showing our community spirit. We love our neighborhood, and we believe it deserves more than gray walls. It deserves color, creativity, and support." Mia's bold words sparked a flicker of hope in the crowd. One by one, they stepped up, echoing her sentiments louder, expressing their love for their neighborhood through vivid examples that spoke of joy, connection, and memories that would last a lifetime. Gripped by emotion, Mia painted fiercely, colors spilling onto the canvas under her brush, creating outlines of the same butterflies from her earlier drawings, swirling above a heart that beamed with promise. The association meeting loomed on the horizon, but in that moment, she realized that together they were stronger, braver, and more vibrant than the gray conformity that threatened to overshadow them. As the final strokes dried, the mural took shape, a masterpiece that told the story of resilience, unity, and creative freedom. The sun began to set, casting golden light on their collective efforts, illuminating the joy they all shared. Then it happened. Karen, seemingly softened by the undeniable warmth of camaraderie, said more gently, maybe I see what this means to every one of you." Mia's heart soared, watching as the lines in Karen's expression began to soften. The crowd turned hopeful. "And maybe we can find a way to blend being neighbors with being creative?" A loud cheer erupted from the crowd, lifting Mia's spirits higher than she thought possible. They weren't just battling for a mural, they were fighting for their hearts, the hearts that loved and thrived together. The evening sky painted a soft twilight, and in that moment, beneath the brilliant colors of their art, Mia looked around at her friends and family. They had woven together a tapestry of courage. Each soul added to the vibrant story unfolding, reflecting the richness of their community. And as the stars twinkled above, Mia felt a profound sense of belonging. No matter what happened next week, she knew they would stand strong, armed with the sweetest colors of love, laughter, and unity. As they departed, hand in hand, she whispered to Lily, "This is just the beginning. We've only started to paint our story." More vibrant adventures lay ahead, and together, they would face each new day with hope. The stakes had never felt higher, but surrounded by her community, Mia knew her heart could withstand any storm. You need to subscribe now to our channel so you won't miss out on more inspiring stories like this. This is the moment to show your support. And if you enjoyed what you just read, leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Share your thoughts and feelings about this ending in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.